Like, I just went on 5 dates, like, this past week, and I'm asking even 2 of these guys for, like, if they want to meet up again, and I haven't heard anything. Like, I don't know when it became okay, like, no human decency to just say, like, hey, sorry, I'm not interested. Why does it have to lead to ghosting? Like, when did we just stop losing, like, any empathy and any communication skills? Like, what is going on in our generation?
Here's the thing, the men that don't want to communicate with you after these 5 dates, they don't have to communicate with you. And the funny thing about rejection is, you know, as men get rejected, you build a relationship with rejection, the same as pain, fear, and all of that stuff. It's more of an asset to you. Doesn't even hold you back anymore. So it's not personal. So they don't even think to tell you like, oh, I'm not seeing this go anywhere. I'm not interested. They just move on because it is what it is. But for you, you take it personal. Because it doesn't really happen like that. It doesn't really build you up like that because you don't have to deal with it all the time. So men aren't saying anything. But guess what? I bet the guys that are super attentive, clingy, overly investing too fast, those guys aren't looking too bad after all, are they? Let's get the next one.
All this talk of intentional dating in 2026, and I'm actually intentionally not dating. And the reason why is because I just don't have 3 to 5 business days to wonder why a guy isn't texting me back. Did his phone die? Did he fall asleep? Is he exploring the Mariana Trench? No, girl, he's not Jacques Cousteau and he has 100% battery. He just doesn't like you. Now go outside, drink some water, and touch some grass.
Getting blocked by a guy is genuinely wild, yeah, because guys, they don't just block anyone. And it's probably the same guy that doesn't remove the girls off his phone even though you told him to. Yet you managed to hit that nerve to the point where he ended up pressing that block button. Anyway, if you're a guy, what is your thought process behind blocking a girl? I want to know.
Silence is the only thing they respect. And when they're complaining about men and men not communicating and men ghosting and men not being emotionally available, emotionally intelligent and blah, 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 it's because they can't manipulate the silence. They only have the silence to work with. See, when you talk and you try to work things out, they can manipulate that, run circles around you. Guys are saying, you know what? I'm going to zip it, be quiet, and go off to actions. They can't play with that. So that's why men stay single as well, and they fail. Because men are falling back. They're not saying anything. Because the minute men say things, they don't listen to it anyway. Well, why don't men do this? And why don't men approach? And why aren't men chivalrous? And why aren't men gentlemen? And why don't men court? Men are telling you, they're giving you the answers to your questions, yet you still continue to ask the same questions. That proves to men that silence is the way to go. Let's get the next one.
One of my girlfriends got me an early birthday gift, inspired by how often I talk about the lack of non-sexual, compassionate touch in mine and other single people's lives. She got me a weighted stuffed animal. You know you're aggressively single when your birthday gifts start coming with a weighted blanket feature. This thing is so stinking cute, and the best part is that each of its little legs are weighted. And I will say, when I'm in bed at 2 a.m. feeling lonely and touch starved, it is really nice to snuggle up with. She is a Highland cow, which unfortunately does remind me of my ex because he's a painter, and pretty much the whole time we were together, he was working on this painting of a Highland cow. And it took him forever to finish because he kept stopping and starting it, and every time I would go to his apartment, I would see this half-finished cow. Honestly, the painting outlasted the relationship. But yeah, aside from accidentally triggering memories of my ex, this is an extremely thoughtful gift. It is indeed the healthiest relationship I've had in years. Skip the candles, skip the slippers. Give your chronically single friends something to emotionally project onto.
Now pay attention to the point where she was like, you know, the painting lasted more than our relationship. Guys, never give up your hobbies, your goals, things that you take interest in for these chicks. I don't care if they think is lame, beneath them, beneath you. It doesn't impress anybody, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. Knock it off. Getting rid of your hobby that you love to do? Absolutely not. Don't do it. Because they think that you're wasting time doing things that you love to enjoy, right? But no, they waste your time. They waste your time. That's why dudes get fat, complacent. Oh no, you know, she wants to go eat ice cream and cake today. You know, I can do that. You know, I can skip the gym today. Honey, can you just stay inside with me? Yeah. I'll get fat with you. No, bro. No. I'm on some whole other shit today, bro. Could feel it in my energy. I just had a great workout. Absolutely not, bro. They hold you back from the shit that you really want to do. Absolutely not. If a chick ain't on your level and she's not into the things that you're into, do not change who you are. Ever. I'm telling you guys, ever. The painting lasted longer than the relationship. Kudos to that brother. Let's get the next one.
Recently made the mistake of giving a man who does handstands online a chance. Lesson learned. Long story short, I had known him, but I had a boyfriend at the time, but I thought he was cute. And then last year at around this time, I saw him on Hinge. I was single. I sent him a like. We matched. I try to make my own road bronzing glazing milk because I don't have any yet. Please put me back on your PR list. It's my dream. I literally actually had a dream about it the other night. But anyway, so I was gonna go on a date with him a year ago, and then Celia and I were like trying to find his Instagram because I was like, I don't really remember much about this guy. I've really only seen him like in passing at a bar. And Celia is amazing at finding Instagrams. Finds his Instagram. We start doing a little scrolling. I've never been so shocked by an Instagram profile in my life. There were photos of him doing handstands, like other crazy yoga poses, selfies with like these insane psychedelic backgrounds. I love pulling these photos up and showing people to this day because it's always like it's a shock factor. It might not sound that bad. I promise it's really bad. Needless to say, after I saw this profile last year, I was like, no way in hell am I going on a date with this man. But at the same time, he also ghosted me. Like, he never texted me following up about our date. So I was just like, okay. A year goes by and I'm out at said bar where I saw him for the first time. And I was a little tipsy and I ran into him and he looked really great that night. In person, he's so normal. So I thought. And so I said, hey, why did you never text me back? And he was like, oh my God, I don't know. And essentially the rest is history. We spent the weekend together. While it was a blast looking back, many red flags, okay? So he sleeps over my house that night and then he leaves to go like take his dog out, and then we meet later in the day for like a Sunday fun day mimosa day. And not to be a drama queen, but just to set the scene, this is a man who has two perfectly good ankles. I'm a girl who has a broken ankle. Yes, I could maneuver fine in my boot, but my ankle is still broken and sprained. Just the premise of that I'd like to throw in there, okay? So he gets there, and then I go up and get around and say, do you want anything? Yes, it's my bad for saying, do you want anything? But he, as the guy, should have been like, oh, let me go grab something for you. He goes, yeah, I'll take a mimosa. Well, he sits all comfy outside chit-chatting with his friends. I go hobble into the bar to get us drinks. I then go across the street for a moment in which he also drinks my mimosa, his mimosa and his, because he said mine was going to get warm, in which I went in and got another round. I said, do you want one? This is my issue, as I did continue to offer, but at some point, come on, bro. So this happens like 3, 4, maybe 5 times. I probably get us 5 rounds of mimosas before he finally says, and this is important, he says, here, take my card and you can go get us another round. Which, once again, not to be like, woe is me, I have a broken ankle. I could move around fine, but it's still, perhaps he could go get, at least he could maybe go inside and grab a round. We're having fun, we're with a group, so then we go to another bar across the street. And when we're ordering drinks at this bar, he orders, I order, I wait for him to put his card down. Nothing happens. We know he has a physical card in him at this point because he did give it to me once to get 1 round. Nothing happens. And so I once again put my card down. That prior night, we were like talking about how he owed me like a dinner date. So after he'd been drinking for a while, I was like, okay, let's go get dinner. And I've been paying for him all day. So I'm like, okay, he's definitely gonna get us dinner. The bill comes and he's like, I would pay, but my phone is going to die. And at the time I was pretty tipsy. So I was just like, okay, not remembering that this man has a physical card on him. He doesn't even need his phone to pay. And by the way, his phone's still on. You could go pay quickly. Keeping the night going though, we're still having fun. I'm just like, whatever, and kind of ignoring it. And this one is like, I'll take ownership for this one. I was like, I really want to go see Obsession. It had just come out and I was dying to see it. And so I was like, let's go see Obsession. I'll get the tickets. This is what gives me a major ick though. We go to Whole Foods and I'm getting like a little wine to bring into the movies, and then I pick out a chocolate bar for myself that I'm paying for, and he too, knowing that I'm paying, picks himself out a little chocolate bar for the movies for me to bring for him. I don't really know how to explain it, but we kind of kept hooking up for a few weeks. It was like a good time. And then Like a few weeks ago, he had slept over my house the night before wearing my sweatshirt. Oh my God, he wore my sweatshirt home. I forgot to say that. And we didn't have plans to see each other this night. And then like I was going home at the same time he was going home. And I was just like, okay, you can just come over. And so he comes over and he shows up in my sweatshirt. I'm speechless. So he was just like wearing my sweatshirt out on the town. That was really shocking, but he sleeps over. We wake up. I feel like everything's normal, but I kind of had the ick, and I posted on my Hokey Pokey Finsta like, I think I might be like a little icked out. I don't know. Later that night, me and my friend were at a bar, Bell's, and it's like all on the same street as like a bunch of other bars. And okay, keep in mind this man woke up at my house at 11 a.m. We've been hooking up for a few weeks, right? I see him standing outside like another bar we're walking by, because we're walking to go get pizza across the street. Walk by, see him. Obviously, I'm gonna say hi. This man was sleeping in my bed hours prior. So I say hello to him, okay? And he literally turns around, essentially acts as if he does not even know who I am, and then goes, you guys can try to say my name at the door. I don't know if it'll work. And then we were like, what the hell are you talking about? Anyway, I was like, I think we should just go home at this point. My friend was like, let's just like go get a drink and see if he's still being super weird. And so I was like, okay, we go and get one drink, make one more attempt to like talk to him because he's being weird as hell. Once again, basically like completely does not acknowledge me. I've talked to a lot of like not cool guys before. I've never been showed such little regard in my life. It was crazy. I sent him a text in the morning because I'm all for like, you know what, if you want to send a text, send a text. I was like, hey, is everything good? Last night was really weird. And he responded a day later and was like, yeah, I was just on one, and then I was deathly ill yesterday. I never responded. I unfollowed him. That is what you get if you give the man who does handstands online a chance.
I want you guys in the comments to write, how many red flags did she overlook? How many mistakes did he make? And she didn't care about that. She just kept chasing after this dude. Now, another point is, right? She knows who has next. Women know who has next. Oh, I knew him, but I had a boyfriend. Also, you went after him afterwards, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't let my delivery get you to think like, oh, there's something wrong with her. No, there's nothing wrong with that. But the point remains the same. Women always know who has next, even while they're with you. If she don't see you as the top guy, best believe she know who has, and even if she did and you get rid of her or whatever, they always know who has next. So this guy wasn't a gentleman, wasn't attentive, ghosting her left and right. Communication was stale on his end. She didn't care. She didn't care. Bought the drinks. She did not care. Hobbling around on one leg. She said she had an injury. He didn't care. But the next guy shall have all these rules, expectations, standards, and demands for. Yo, bro, this is why guys offer the bare minimum. See, they say the bare minimum is a bad thing. The bare minimum is a good thing.